Hello my friends, welcome to Brown Strings. I'm Henriette and today's lesson is about Listen to the Rhythm from Fiddle Time Joggers. I'm hoping that before this lesson you have already practiced Algae Met a Bear, and in that lesson we have learned a D scale. Now today we're going to be learning a G scale, which is in essence exactly the same as a D scale. So if you haven't already watched the lesson on Algae Met a Bear, please do so first, and then today's lesson will make far more sense. If you have practiced Algae Met a Bear, well done to you, congratulations, and we are going to start with a G scale today. So when we played the D scale, we started on the D and played all our fingers up until the fourth finger on the A string. This time we're going to start on the G string and we're going to go all the way up until we reach the fourth finger on the D string. So remember your finger pattern when you play the third and fourth fingers. It's the same on every single string. Fingers 1 and 2 have got a gap. Fingers 2 and 3 are close together. And fingers 4, finger number 4 will have a space with finger number 3. So that is your basic outline of your finger pattern. Right, let's start by playing every note of the scale twice, and we'll play every note with long bows. So let's get ready and have your finger line level with the E string, your thumb just peeking over the edge, and I want you to try and push your wrist out a little bit more today so that your hand has a sort of claw-like shape like that. Okay, so my wrist is pushed out that way. So if you find yourself playing, and it might well be worth looking at yourself in a mirror, if you find yourself playing like this with this shape wrist, I want you to really work today in pushing that wrist outwards. Right, here we go. We're going to start on a G scale. Play every note twice with long bows and... fingers in place, 3 fingers on G. Well done. Now you might ask, why are you so keen always to start a lesson with a scale? And there are a couple of reasons for that. First of all, it is much easier if you play all your fingers in the right order and in the same order all the time, you see. So you really practice placing each finger in the correct position. Secondly, I can practice playing long straight bows, which is a good habit to have in violin playing to make a good sound, and then putting the two together, playing nicely in tune with all your fingers and making a good sound, will make you progress really fast. So those are my reasons for playing a scale. It's much easier to play all your notes in a fixed order rather than playing them differently in any piece that you play. Now it sets you up correctly also, it warms you up and it sets you up correctly for playing the song. And today we're playing Listen to the Rhythm. So let's go ahead and get started with that piece. And this piece starts, as you can see, on 3 fingers on G. So I'm going to just test those fingers. And when I do this, it means that I have got all my notes correct for the first 2 bars already, because I'm going to start here and my other fingers are in place. This sets me up properly with the correct hand position at the same time. So I want you to push that wrist out. Your elbow, as you can see, is quite far under the violin. And then look at my thumb. It's just peeking over the edge, and my thumb is just lying here softly. It's not squeezing into the neck of the violin, but it's just very gently lying there. Now then, are you ready to play Listen to the Rhythm? I'll count us in for 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Use this time to get your fingers ready on the D string and get ready on the G string again, 4 and Now then, here you have learned what you hopefully already knew, the names of the crotchets, the minims, and new today is the semibreve. And the semibreve is just a circled note with no stem, and it lasts for 4 counts. Now in America they call the crotchets quarter notes, the minims half notes, and the semibreves whole notes. It's just different names, and they're all equally good. So whatever takes your fancy, you learn those notes. Now you have noticed that I keep very slow as well. I'm using a whole bow on all of these different notes. So both crotchets and minims and semibreves. It's just a matter of getting the speed of my bow right. So if you play a semibreve, and why don't you join me playing a semibreve G? It's a 4 count note, so that means that after 2 counts I'm supposed to be in the middle of the bow. So let's get started here at the heel and let's check how that works for you. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. Are you now more or less in the middle? 3, 4. And do it again. 1, 2. Are you in the middle? 3. And this way you learn to measure out your notes. Now let's now play a minim. So a 2 count note, and after 1 you should be in the middle, so you go twice as fast. Let's play this on a D string, shall we? 1, 2, 1, 2, do it again. 1, 2, 1. There you go. So that gives you really good bow control if you can do that. And then of course the crotchets, let's play the crotchets on a G string again, shall we? And your bow goes a lot faster. And having this control is of the utmost importance for a good sound. So I suggest you do not go too fast at this stage. Now next we're going to play the whole piece one more time. And I want you to work at really stretching that bow arm forwards. We have talked about this many times in the past, and we're going to refine this technique even more today. So when you play, make sure that you stretch your bow arm forward so it's straight in front of your body here when you play down bow, as opposed to going to your side and the bow slipping. You see, my arm has now gone sideways and my bow has slipped over the fingerboard. Okay, and we don't want that, so you want to stretch your bow arm in front. Okay, let's work on that this time, shall we? Why don't we just check over that bow hold before we get started? So I want you to double check that your middle finger and your thumb are opposite each other. There we go. Pop down all the fingers. Make sure that you have a space here and a space there. And your pinky is nice and round and on the side edge. I see many people with their pinkies on the top. That's not the case. You want to put it on the side. So as it were, your pinky leans against it from the side, as it were. Now, I think we're ready to start. Test your fingers. Ready? 2, 3, 4. Super slow now. 1, 2, 3, 4. Try to keep your right shoulder down. 3, 4. 3, 4. Well done. If you kept that up, I'm very impressed with you, because that is very tiring on the bow arm, because you're stretching all that time. And that's why I was suggesting to you to try and keep your right shoulder down. Easier said than done. So well done for keeping up. I hope you enjoyed that. Let me know in the comments below how that worked for you, what you found difficult, and if you manage all right. Okay, because I can adjust the pace of this book if you comment on it. Okay, I'm guessing how fast everyone would want to play, but if you give me some feedback, I would be pleased to hear from you. Okay, I look forward to seeing you again in the next lesson. Goodbye.